Hi everyone, it is Shamela here. Welcome to my channel. So last week and Wednesday we did this little booklet for our National Scrapbook Day online winter retreat, and I thought in addition to the little booklet I thought I would show you quickly how to add a belly band or a little pocket to the left hand side of the cover. So I've got two bits of offcuts. This was probably something that I intended to use for a project, but it's offcuts as well as this one. So let's first go over the pocket. Now the easiest way for me to make a pocket is the following. I always use 1/2 inch as my score for the fold overs. And when I say fold overs, I mean the little piece that goes underneath. So that is my 1/2 inch. There we go. I folded it over, and the pencil method is something that works perfectly for me because it avoids me having to measure out everything all the time. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up my edge, which is going to be my pocket, to the side of the pattern paper, and then I'm just going to take my pencil and mark where that pattern paper ends. So we're going to put that back into the scoreboard, and this is where I need to score for the next 1/2 inch fold, and 1/2 inch is 4, or let me just count. So there is, that's 1 2 3 4, so that is the next 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to cut it off at this point. My brain just went blank for a second there. So let's just, because this is folded over, I'm not even going to be very fancy about this. I'm just cutting it with the scissors. And then we need a third score line for the bottom of the pocket, and this measures 4 inches. So I'm just going to score on the 3.5 inch mark. So theoretically this should fit inside. Let's see if it works. I might be out by a smidge, so let's just see. Okay, it fits perfectly inside that gap. So what we need to do is apply our double-sided tape. I use red tape for mine, and I'm just looking for my 1/2 inch. Where is it? Can't seem to oh yeah, it is. Is it this one? Yes. Okay, so this is, you can see the difference. This is a standard 12 mil one, and that is my 10 mil. It's basically what I call my 1/2 inch tape, because when you apply it to these 1/2 inch gaps, it fits perfectly inside this gap. And we have no tape, oopsie, sorry, we have no tape overhang. I don't put any tape in the corners because we are going to cut those away, so there's no need to waste. And I'm using my trusty Stamperia scissors for the tape. If you don't have one, I highly recommend them. There we go. So we've got that. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to take my cutting mat away so you can see better. Now we've got that done, we are going to burnish those the red tape. If you've ever had trouble removing the backing of the red tape, once you burnish it, it comes off a whole lot easier. The burnishing also allows you to, allows the tape, not you, allows the tape to adhere so much better. So, and I am reinforcing all those fold lines. Right, we've got that. Now this is how I do my corners. If you have your own method, by all means use it. I cut on the outside of the score line up to the next score line. Cut on the outside of that score line. And we just need to remove that corner. Sorry, I can't see so well with the camera in the middle here, but right. And then what I do is I trim across that. When we fold this over, you see that little messy piece there? That is what we want to avoid. So I know I need to take a smidge off that corner and do the fold again still. Okay, I don't know why, just because I'm recording it, it doesn't want to work now, eh? Typical. Okay, so when you fold this over, you can see there's no little residue there, but what you need is these two pieces to lie next to each other. So I see there's still a bit of an overhang there. And I'm not taking anything away from the corner, I'm just taking away from the edge. And this is basically what we want. Those two pieces to lie side by side next to each other. So there's no unnecessary bulk in your pocket. So let's do that again. Cut. I need to have new specs made. It's been 2 years and I can feel my eyes have gone worse than it was before. Tell you, old age is not for sissies. So once that is out, we do the same thing. Cut across, fold over, and that one went a whole lot better than the other one. And they lie perfectly next to each other. So at this point, if you want to create a little indentation here, you can. Let me just find the center point of this. So that is more or less the middle, round about there. And I'm going to use a 1 3/4 corner punch, and with these EK success punches I use this part of the K as my little guide. So I will line, I'll just eyeball it, I'll line it up with that K as best as I can, check the two sides to see if they're more or less the same, and basically there we got our little notch in the pocket. Now this was an offcut, so I didn't cut anything away from it. But when I put it in here, I feel like it's a little bit too high. It's taking away quite a bit of my designer paper. But okay, let's leave it like that. We can do something else to the top as well. I'm getting ahead of myself here now. So I'm covering my little distress piece there, but that's okay. Let me line this up. What you want to avoid is this pocket impacting your score line there. Okay, so that's quite important. And now we'll just pull off the rest. Okay, so there we have our little pocket insert. And now if we're wanting to add some pattern paper to that, we can do so. I decided to go with this one for 2 reasons. Number one, I wanted a contrast, something darker because the background is light. And there's that little green in there. And over here we've got the same green color, which is, I love that. And also this piece matches my ribbon. So whatever I have left over, I'm going to place it on here so that we've got some kind of cohesion going. So let us measure this, and I want a little black border on either side. So that's where I'm going to cut, and that's where I'm going to cut. So let's grab a trimmer. Okay, this is the Stamperia trimmer, and it's really nice because it's got the scoring tool and so the white one is your scoring blade and this one is your cutting blade. The blade is exposed quite significantly, so one of the reasons why I'm using this one is I want to just try and cut out that square, so I'm not wasting any paper. I'll try my best not to waste any paper. So if you notice this scoring board, if you have one of these, let me just see if I can lift this for you to see. Let me show you afterwards. There's a little line on this thing, and that is so you can line up your paper nicely and cut out exactly what you need. So let me show you that little mark. If you look over here, there's a mark there, and that's what that mark is for. Is if you're wanting to cut very precise measurements like I've done now, you would use the middle mark for, that's your cutting line, and then that is where the blade would stop. I hope that makes any sense. Right, so we've got that piece, and that's going to go over there, and then we need to mark out the notch. Now I always have trouble with this. I don't know if you guys have a good way of doing this, let me know, but I always have issue with this. So with my pencil, I'm going to put that in, then I'm going to mark that and try and see where this notch ends. I hope I can see the mark. Let's see if that works. That's good enough. I'm happy with that. That's fine. So we've got that piece that's going to go there, and then on the other side we are just going to cut another piece for there. So that was this, and I want a bit of purple, but also don't want to waste paper, so maybe we can do that. can't see where the end is, so we're going to have to use the old-fashioned. So that's 5.5. So I'm going to cut it too. See if I can see this mark. Doesn't have inches on the ruler, which is not great. We measure the centimeters. I'm recording. I'm recording. Okay, so I got that length measured, and now I just need to measure the width, which is about there. Out comes the trimmer, so we're going to line that up. There's my mark. There's my mark. Say it's about on 20. So I'm going to put this on 20 over here and just slide up. Here we go. Let's see if I've got it right. It's a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim off at the bottom. But rather too long than too short. That's fine. Okay, so we've got our little thingy for the pocket. I'm just going to distress the edges with my favorite scorched timber. And of course here are plenty of opportunities to distress those cracks if you wanted to cut into it, etc. I'm not going to do that now, although my hands are itching too. Even over here. Oh, brilliant opportunity. And we can glue that down. I've got my craft glue. Eyeballing top, bottom, sides. And then if you wanted to, you can put a little quote on the top there. Okay, that one gives it a contrast. And I used the little bird on my other one. And over here, what you can do is you don't have to stick down the whole thing. I was going to pop it up on a dimensional tape, but I'm thinking let's rather do this. So I only put glue on the 3 sides, which means I should be able to pop a small tag in there. Let's see if it works. Notice how beautifully this scissors cuts. Oh, I forgot to edge that thing. There we go. So now you've got a little pocket. I could have put this down lower and then you would have still seen that exposure there, but it's too late. And something for the pocket. There were some tags here somewhere. I remember complaining about cutting it up, but these can work in there. I'm trying my best to ignore that snake skin on that thing. It's creeping me out. So this is a photo, a journal opportunity, a photo opportunity. I would personally journal on here because I do not want to cover this beautiful sheet with a photo. Let's see if it fits. Oh yeah, it does, but it's slightly too long, so we have to lose the white border. That will give us about 2/8 of an inch maybe. Ta-da! There we go. It fits. And in hindsight now, I was an idiot to put that distressing thing. But it is what it is. It's done. Golly gosh, guys. So while I was busy cutting out another tag for this side, I decided that I needed a little bit of pizzazz on here. So we're going to go with the same technique, and this is a Inkadoo stamp. I have no idea where I got it. Probably purchased it ages ago. But it's like a star burst. So I figured it might be nice to have some thing in the background. So we can emboss this. You can use embossing powder with that. Where's my fan brush? There we go. I'm just trying to remember where I placed these things. So this is pigment powder from Stamperia in gold. Close the pigment powder. And close the bowl. I just need to get a tissue to clean up the rest. So we are made of where's the rest of the words now? Did I lose it? There comes this one word gone. What did I do? Oh, there. No, it's not. Brilliant. Okay, I found it. The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. That's my sepia pencil. Smudging it. I prefer the brown to the black. Done. I hope you'll find this useful so that you can add extra little elements to your project. You can even put a little belly band over there or inside one of these little folders. But yeah, just a little added extra for you today. And that's it from me. Until next time, see you in cyberspace. Bye now.